Hello, welcome along. We've got a few things to cover today. Let's get straight into it. As you will no doubt be aware, the Beatles got back together to make, let's just be honest here. One of the Beatles, John Lennon, recorded a demo on a cassette way back in whatever it was, 1979, possibly 1980 itself, quite near to the time that he unfortunately was shot. And then many years later, Yoko found this cassette, sent it to the remaining Beatles, I think Paul McCartney specifically, and with a view to, maybe there were some songs here that could be finished off. There were 3 songs on that cassette that they got to work with. 2 of them were actually released in the 1990s. They were Real Love and Free as a Bird. They were kind of okay. That was kind of mid-90s. I mean, they didn't make a great impression. This third song, called Now and Then, they just couldn't get it to work because they couldn't separate the vocal from a rather loudly recorded piano, which was kind of in the way of that vocal. They had no technology at the time to take the vocal kind of, off the cassette with a big pair of scissors or a sander or something, so that they could get the vocal separate from the piano, and then they could work with it and mix it and put the other instruments in. So they basically gave up. So they released the other 2, left Now and Then, on the shelf, basically, as Paul McCartney puts it. It was sitting on a shelf until Peter Jackson came along and worked with them on the Get Back documentary that came out a year or so ago. And on the documentary, Peter Jackson had developed a piece of technology that did exactly what was needed here, which was to be able to go in, pick out the frequencies that were John Lennon's voice and separate them from everything else. And then that gave them the opportunity to put it all together and to mix it. Okay, so it came out yesterday here in the UK, yesterday being the 2nd of November. And I've listened to it a couple of times. So I just want to be really fair about this. There's always a danger, isn't there, that it's going to be, nothing like the legacy that they've built up. And to be honest, it isn't anything like the legacy they've ever built up. There's not, you wouldn't ever say, oh God, that should be put, Now and Then should be put amongst the kind of the Beatles top 20 tracks that they ever recorded. I just don't think anybody would say that. But I would also say it's better than the 2 songs that were released in the 90s. I think it's superior. I think it's got a slightly better tune going on. I think the arrangement is very tasteful that they've put together for it. And I guess the thing that makes it notable is that it's just very poignant. It has poignant words. It has words about getting back together and about love, and every now and again, every now and then, I should say, I miss you kind of thing. It's quite poignant. It sounds like a conversation that John Lennon could be having with Paul and Ringo and obviously George when he was alive. It's what would I say? It's a kind of yearning, wistful song, and it's really not bad at all. So, not exactly essential to the Beatles canon. It's not going to, they don't need the money. It's just a labour of love, and it's pretty nice. That's as far as I can go with that. This week, this is a change of subject. Okay, so screeching U-turn. This week, I've been trying to prepare my Facebook Ads Manager account to be able to put together Facebook ads, which I can't do until it unblocks me to be able to pay for them. So basically, for a couple of weeks, I have been literally in a day-to-day wrestling match with Facebook online here, trying to find a way to get them to basically take any restrictions off my account, enable me to pay, because I know that paying is important. I'm prepared to pay. I want to pay. But, oh my Lord, the Facebook, the whole paraphernalia around Facebook ads when you go and have a look and you try to work out where it's sending you, when there's a problem where it sends you, then the troubleshooting is rubbish. There's very little way of contacting them. You have to leave an email. You're not quite sure if the email's gone. At the same time, I had a couple of pages up, one of which said all my issues had been resolved, and the other one said your account has been deactivated. And you're thinking, what is going on here? So Facebook, if you are watching, please sort out your blooming platform to enable people like me to do the thing that they want to do, which is pay you to carry ads for them. Because look, I've worked out that, if you go and watch Andrew Southworth, he will tell you every day of the week that playlists are okay. Putting your song on a playlist is okay. When it finishes on a playlist, it goes back to nothing. Nobody's taking a notice. You haven't built up any fans. So I really do want to use Facebook ads. And I really won't be able to until Facebook kind of let me in. And come on, I'm legit. I just want to buy Facebook ads. They have driven me crazy. And one day when Facebook gets replaced by something else, I'll be cheering. Lord, it just shouldn't be that hard. Okay, final thing. Taxi, I've talked about Taxi before. They are this company in California that send out briefs directly from sync libraries, not that kind of sync. I'm talking about syncing for films and TV shows and adverts. So they're really good. You have to be a member. It costs a couple of £100, but then you get a torrent of briefs through saying we want this, we're looking for this kind of music, we want this. I've entered lots and lots of times. I've been 100% unsuccessful. So that has just kind of, it's got me riled, and I want to just carry on going. So one of the briefs that popped up recently was to do a cover version. Could you do a cover version of a song from the noughties? And you would get extra marks if you could make sure your song was from 2005 or 2006. That's what they wanted. And they gave you a couple of references, and it's quite interesting. This is like, what they really want is for you to take a well-known song and slow it right down. Rather in the way that Mad World, Tears for Fears was slowed right down, and I think then became a Christmas ad, possibly for John Lewis, if I'm remembering that rightly. And it's that kind of style that they're looking for, where you slow it down, you really get into the words, and you go for the kind of emotional angle as much as you can. So I thought I would have a go at doing Say It Right by the lovely Nelly Furtado, which did come out, I think, in 2005 or 6. It's definitely one of those. This is a fantastic, look, this. It's a fantastic Timbaland production. And, you can go and find it. I think it's on her Promiscuous album, which did really, really well. There were several hits off that album, Man Eater, Promiscuous. And this was my favourite, Say It Right. Now, look, I'm not going to play the whole thing. And even if I do, I'd probably get into copyright problems, because it's not my song. It's a Timbaland, Nelly Furtado song. But they were looking for covers. I'll play out this evening with a bit of the instrumental that I'm putting together for me to sing, not at all like Nelly Furtado, but slowly and emotionally over this, which I will then, hopefully, if it's okay, send to Taxi. I might even look for another one. Okay, that's it for today. In 2 weeks' time, I will be releasing my next single. That'll be the 4th single from this album called Strange Alien. Before I get to that, though, I think what you might want to do is listen to the first 3. They're called Strange Alien, Tongue Tied, and I Breathe With You. They're all ever so good. Check them out, and then you'll be ready for track number 4. So yeah, have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. Stay safe, and I'm as I say, here is a little bit of a very new take on Nelly Furtado's Say It Right. See ya.